Thank you very much. I'm from the Waterford Institute of Technology in Ireland. Waterford, you might have heard of before, has very famous crystal, Waterford crystal chandeliers and glasses. So I'm the coordinator of the EU-India Cooperation Platform and Future Internet and Electronic Media project. There are 3 partners in the project, Mr. Abhishek Sharma, who's here on the dais with me, Professor M.P. Gupta, the head of DMS in IIT Delhi, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, and myself. The project is funded by the delegation of the European Union to India and Bhutan here in New Delhi. And just a little bit about the project. It's funded under the Europe Aid program, and it's a mobility project and mainly involved with bringing together cluster-to-cluster partnerships between the EU and India. And our project is specifically under the lot on ICT. There are a number of other lots as well, but we focus mainly on important topics of mutual benefit between India and the EU. The project has just concluded. However, we have some follow-up activities which I'll be presenting today. So just a little bit of background on my presentation and sort of the expectations from today. So we're in the process of setting up we're calling it a center of cooperation because we want it to be a multi-stakeholder cooperation, and we were worried that something like a center of excellence would sound a bit, too much of only academic partners. So we want to make sure to ensure that we have all of the key stakeholders involved. We're calling it something like Center of Cooperation or a cluster of cooperation, specifically in the area of smart agriculture, in order to create the betterment of smart villages. So in November 2018, we held a workshop in IIIT&M Gwalior, in which we brainstormed on some topics that specifically in relation to smart agriculture and how they could help make villages smart. It was a very successful workshop in which we identified about 12 or 15 different topics, including smart dairy, as my colleague just presented, smart irrigation, smart pesticide, and a whole number of them. We have a full report available at this website here. We then followed this up with a networking session in the EU at the ICT 2018 event in Vienna. And this was also a successful event. It was quite a lot shorter. It was only a 45-minute session, but we really packed in a very good panel, both from EU and India, and were able to recruit a number of other stakeholders to work with us from the EU. And so again, there's a report online here. So today I'm going to focus mainly on an area that my own university is working on in smart dairy, which uses the disruptive technologies, which is the topic of this session, so IoT, artificial intelligence and nanotechnology. And then the main expectation is further recruitment to work with us on this Center of Cooperation in Smart Agriculture. So I'd like to present a project that Waterford IT are engaged in. It's called Vista Milk Agritech Center, and it's driving innovation in the dairy food production with the use of digital technologies, including artificial intelligence and IoT, and also using data analytics. So it's there's quite a number of synergies with the work that Stellabs is doing, and we're looking at sort of the future of how these technologies can contribute to all levels, the levels at the cow level, the pasture level, and also the food level. So there's quite a number of partners from the university sector and also from industry. It's funded by the Science Foundation Ireland and also the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine. So similar to what STEL Labs do, we're looking at using the sensors and designing low power and low cost sensors, and using this the data from the sensors, carrying out analyses which can then be used to increase the productivity and sustainability of the dairy farm. And we're also looking at the production of the grass production, the milk production, and the feed management of the animals to create the most amount of productivity. So as I mentioned, we're looking at it from 3 different thematic areas. So from the pasture level, the cow level, and the food level. And within these 3 thematic areas, we have 9 different targeted projects. And a targeted project is a more specific project looking at specific elements within each of the thematic areas. So across all of this, we're looking at them from the sensors level, the networking communications levels, and the data analytics levels. And of course, the platform also has a operations level. So in the first thematic area, which is on looking at the grass growth prediction and the breeding program, there are a number of specific areas that we're looking at. So understanding the soil and nutrient fluxes, the genomic selection, phenotyping tools, the grass physiology, real-time monitoring of the grass growth, and the water quality as well. In the second thematic area, which is looking more at the cow itself, we're looking at its health, the reproduction and performance, so looking at the best times for the artificial insemination to take place. It's doing multi-level data analytics, low-cost phenotyping tools, looking at the overall health of the animal. And we're also looking at using bio-inspired sensor network protocols, which I'll go into a bit more detail in a moment. And then on the third thematic area, which is more looking at the products or the food itself, again, we're looking at multi-level data analytics, targeted nutritional attributes, what we call gut on a chip. So implanting the chip and examining the protein content, et cetera, inside the gut. It's looking at the different sensors that are needed, optimal collection routes, and carrying out trials themselves at real farms. So we're using edge artificial intelligence and analytics, and taking the data and with different types of sensors, processing the information in an energy and efficient manner, and then integration of the data from the fog to the cloud, and looking at the services that support the integration of the data. And we're looking at both external sensors and also working on some internal sensors as well. So in terms of the disruptive technologies, the project is looking at the nanocommunications aspects in agri-tech. So looking at having an embedded chip looking at the bacteria levels within the gut, and also similarly looking at using it for soil monitoring as well. So as part of this, we're looking at the different gateway units that can interface between the molecular communications within the cow's gut and with the cyber world, and designing the unit that integrates the energy harvesting and the wireless energy transfer communications. So in conclusion, I just highlight here again that the main purpose of today is to recruit from the M2M plus IoT communities to work with us in moving forward, and to help establish a specific center in smart agriculture. So thank you very much.